Hey everyone, welcome back to AWM Insights. It's Justin and Mena here. As we were prepping, I realized I don't know how often we say that, but here we are. It's good to be back. We're actually recording earlier in the week. It's a Tuesday, just making note of that. But due to some travel, we wanted to get this in because of what's going on in the world. If you listened to our last episode, it was a little bit more going over the rally we've seen since April lows, and now here we are, not seeing a big pullback necessarily, but certainly the world has gotten more interesting and arguably more uncertain with what's going on in the Middle East specifically, and there's reason to have some questions. So hopefully we're going to address some of those questions you may or may not be having, but certainly give some comfort in these uncertain times around investing and trying to reorient around the long term, and just give you all some great reminders. I mean, just like a game can change in a single day, the world can certainly change in a single day as well. It's always shifting, but it doesn't mean you need to change your game plan. And so we're going to jump into it. So Mena, why don't you just walk us through how are we digesting the events specifically in the Middle East, right? Those are the new ones that have come up as we record today. It's still going on. Doesn't seem to be de-escalating necessarily. The war in Ukraine is still going on. There's obviously interesting tensions here at home in the U.S. How do we digest all this?
Yeah. And from a high level, just reacting to news and what we see, we're seeing commodity prices move a little bit. Oil has come up pretty substantially since this conflict started, because obviously the Middle East is a hub for oil in general, and there is some uncertainty around international trade. Now, what should you do? I would say maybe the only thing you should do is fill your car up with gas before gas prices come up. But in general, these are shorter term shocks, and there is a playbook that we set. We are very intentional with how we invest, how we build portfolios. And just like you said, this is a single play in a game, or I would argue in a season, and you're not going to change your playbook because there's, some issue and some impact from a single play. You have to continuously look at the bigger picture.
That's right. You come in with a game plan. You don't just automatically change that game plan based on one play. We stay disciplined. We stick to the plan, so to speak. A couple great reminders too. We talk about being data driven. I know we've got some of those kind of in our cookie jar. I mean, what are those? Give us those reminders.
Yeah, and a lot of it really has to do with getting cold feet and pulling out of markets and missing the best days. During these times, we see obviously down days. We actually just saw that on Friday. Market was down more than 1%. Well, yesterday, Monday, the market was up nearly 1% because the tensions were viewed by the market as potentially de-escalating a little bit. Now, today, we got a reversion of that. Market's back down 1%, but
just ride the roller coaster.
Yeah, yep. It's a roller coaster, but there's highs and lows, and the impact of missing the highs is pretty tremendous. So there's a study here that if you invested in the S&P 500 from 1990 to 2023, so for 33 years, if you missed just the one best day and you put in $1,000, instead of having $27,000, you would have 24
in the S&P 500.
In the S&P 500. So you lose out on $3,000 just from missing one day. By missing 5 days, you go from $27,000 to $17,000. $10,000 on an initial $1,000 investment. So instead of being up 27x, you're up 17x. Push that forward to 15, the best 15 days. You miss those, you go from 17,000 to 9,000. So just as you can see, missing the best days, it's sort of like taking your grand slams and your home runs and your best at-bats out of your season averages, that's going to really impact your statistics, your RBIs, your runs, a lot of those elements.
Totally.
So you have to make sure that you preserve those best days. And a 33-year period of time, we were just saying 1, 5, 15 days. 33 years is 12,000 days. So you can see how minuscule that number of days actually is, but it impacts returns tremendously.
Totally. I mean, that is a small needle you have to thread. So hopefully that is helpful perspective, kind of, let's call it on the macro themes or trends that are maybe catching you off guard, creating questions. Another item, kind of alluded to it here, on the home front, came across an article in the Wall Street Journal about folks letting politics really get involved with their money specifically and their portfolio even more so. And so just wanted to revisit the whole idea, that we talked about plenty around the election, around voting with your dollars. What's our take? And this is a leading question, but what's our take on that, Mena?
Yeah, our take is, there's a lot of sides here. We are on the side of making money and consistently making money. And historically, the way you actually make money is by not voting with your political beliefs and by sort of isolating your investment portfolio from your views and your beliefs, because markets trend up over long periods of time, and doing too much hurts you.
Yeah. And right, you can slice and dice, hey, what party controls the presidency, what party controls various houses of Congress, et cetera. You slice and dice it any which way, and the numbers come out the same way, right? There's no predictive element there. So thinking one party is better than the other just is not a great way to allocate dollars, to your point. So what we say is, don't vote with your portfolio, vote at the ballot box. They're great reminders. So how can we wrap this all together, Mena? Like, there's a lot of noise out there. We want to remind people that, hey, we're in this for the long term. And at the end of the day, right, we're trying to just say, control what you can control, right? Don't be emotionally reactive. If you feel that emotion, that's okay. But that's what this conversation is designed to help appease or calm you down with. Reach out to us. Talk to your team. Let's talk through these questions and or concerns and questions or concerns that you might have. Don't vote with your portfolio. Understand, hey, missing the single best days, missing the single few days, and like getting that bullseye is incredibly difficult to do. And kind of a flip side of that is time in the market is really what matters, right? Timing the market is incredibly hard. We talk about that time and time again, but it's driven by data. You don't want to just leave the game because you had a bad play or markets went down in a single day. You want to keep competing. You want to stay in that game. And then the last reminder I'd leave people with is that one of the reasons why we expect higher returns by investing in the market is because of times like this, because of uncertainty or because of risk. You could slap a number of different words on that, but just know that is the driver, right? This uncertainty, that is why you should expect higher returns by investing in the market. So hopefully those are all solid reminders for everyone. Again, if you have questions, concerns, definitely reach out to the team here. Let's talk through them. We really want to make sure your portfolio is there to support what's important to you, which is accomplishing your priorities in that customized fashion so you can drive that multi-generational wealth. So hopefully that was helpful. And again, own your wealth, make an impact, and always be a pro. Thanks for listening.